go. Hello and welcome to another stinking episode.
God damn it, we're back again. Why do we do this?
People keep telling us not to, but we say, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, they're like, I'm begging you, stop. And I'm just like, I know that just means you want me to keep going. Just want me to double down.
It's like, you're here in the chat telling me to stop, so that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Tricked you into coming to my show.
Mm-hmm. We got you. No publicity is bad publicity, so when people are telling us, to stop, I'm like, that's just publicity. Like, that's what publicity sounds like to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ian, how have you been?
I've been existing, doing what I'm doing.
What more can one do?
Gosh, it seems like it's the least we can do these days.
How's your week been?
I mean, for me, it's been pretty low key. Just been
nothing's happened.
Nothing in the world has happened at all in the
Same.
last week. Definitely not in my house, but also definitely not in like the world or anything like that. So Let's just not even like talk about what's not happening.
No, why would we talk about things that haven't happened?
Exactly.
That's crazy. So
yeah,
same. So moving on.
Yeah. Different subject. What do you?
What am I? Oh, I'm just hosting my or co-hosting my Twitch show.
Oh no shit. With who?
This is one asshole.
Sounds like a real dude.
Name's like okay, it starts with, it's like the middle
Arnold.
of the alphabet.
Well, the letter A is actually the beginning, so if you're saying Arnold, which it sounded like you were going for when you started, to say the name, because you're definitely saying Arnold.
I was not going to say Arnold. You've said Arnold like 4 times.
And then it's
Do
like,
you wish your name was Arnold? Is that what you're admitting to me right now?
What? No, what? Why would I be... Why are you bringing me into this? I'm asking you who you're hosting the show with.
So his name is Arnold
Palmer. You knew it. We got legendary golfer Arnold
he's the famous iced tea and lemonade drink.
Yeah. Famous golfer, famous iced tea brewer, craftsman of lemonades. Arnold Palmer.
There he is.
And wow, you guys must talk about a lot of golf on that show, or iced tea.
Little column A, little column B. Maddie F in the chat already says, please no more.
F's in the chat.
Sorry, you're here, and that's go ahead. That's what we're talking about.
That's the kind of publicity, any type of publicity that we were talking about. We're desperate for it. We need anyone to just validate us and my parking. I need someone to validate my parking.
Sorry, we still don't do that. By the way, Maddie F, being the super generous person he is, just subscribe to us off video. So he doesn't even get credit normally, except I'm gonna give it to him anyway.
Oh snap!
He tried to get away with it.
He tried to be sneaky boy.
But no sir.
Not sneaky enough for us to call you out on live stream. No sir.
Anyways, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna move this wheel a little bit closer to your guy.
It's up to you.
He looks like he's really stretching his arms.
I know, but it's also not that against the style.
It's not, but
I'll leave that one up to you. I'll adjust accordingly.
We'll just move this dude a little. How's that?
Boy, that's
makes a world of difference.
I wasn't gonna complain, but now that you saw your error and solved it, I'm happy about it.
I have repented from the errors of my ways.
No, you still gotta do 16 Hail Marys and
jeez.
whip yourself with
self-flagellation.
I don't really know what they do. I was raised Lutheran, and basically that was just created because we're not really into the whole feeling bad about stuff thing.
Oh, we were all about it. Like, we did the Hail Marys, we did the Our Fathers. Our songs weren't fun. The whole shebang. I've been to many churches and had church band envy. Just like, this band has a dude on the electric guitar. Like, what the fuck? Like, we have a person.
Kind of electric guitar money.
Our most fun instrument is a fucking güero. So like, Jesus.
I don't know what that is.
That's like you rub the knife up and down on it. It's got like
that's violent sounding.
The little notches in it, and it goes.
Great.
I think that's what it is. I hope I'm not saying güero wrong. I mean,
I'm not saying it at all, so.
I mean, you don't rub a knife against it, you rub a fucking stick, but yeah, I'm saying it right.
But you went to school, like, in a dangerous neighborhood, so they used a knife instead.
They used a knife, yeah, it was a Bowie knife, and the guy would sharpen his teeth in between, like, the songs while the priest was, like, telling us about going to hell and shit like that.
Yeah, just in case you weren't playing good enough, that was the way to keep you going.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I wasn't in the band. The dude was just always sharpening his teeth, like sitting up there in the gallery area where they sat the whole band. Just kind of, like, I think he must have had like spinach in his teeth or something like that, because like just constantly like that knife was in his teeth if it wasn't on that güero.
This was your band teacher?
This was, you know what? Actually, my band teacher probably would have been in that church band if, it was just he was too fun for them. Yeah, he would have been. He was too fun for them, is what it really came down to. Wait. Okay, so the arm.
I moved the one arm because the wheels. You moved the wheel. To popular request, Matt in the chat is saying, move the wheel, and I'm just trying to make it look right.
Okay, I'm looking at the pose we're basing this on, and right. He's got his hand on the inner rungs.
I know, it's weird. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. I think they fucked it up, and then this is like the thing that was like started animation, and now this is it's trash.
Turns out it's all wrong.
It's lies.
Turns out cartoons, not like real life. Who'd have known? Who'd have thunk it? Not me. Not I, said the fly.
Would you steer a steamboat while wearing, like, what kind of shorts are those?
Those are hot pants.
You gonna wear a pair of hot pants? I guess I would. I was gonna ask that question, like, what the hell are they doing? But I'm like, hell yeah, that's the only thing I'd be wearing.
Yeah, if I'm gonna drive a steamboat, you'd have to ask me, like, would you do it not wearing hot pants? And then I'd have to be like, gosh, I have to think about that one.
Sorry, man, I have to pass on this job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to not having a job and look for something else, I guess.
If there's gonna be steam on this boat, I'm gonna need some hot on my pants. Okay? So, thank you, sir.
That's a long way to go to decline a job, but
I appreciate the large check that you pushed on the table towards me.
We're right on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna pass it over to you, and it just says, hot pants.
Yeah, hot pants. If you had to drive, if you had to drive a steamboat with a cantankerous mouse character, who is just like fucking your shit up the whole time you're trying to drive the steamboat, well, how would you try and get him off the boat?
I mean, in this story, Mickey is not. He's not causing trouble. He's trying to drive the boat.
Oh, I thought he was like...
He's the hardest working fella there. He's not. This isn't a Tom and Jerry situation. He's the captain.
I was sort of conflating it with the Tom and Jerry situation. I also thought that there was a large black and white cat who was just like, "What I wanted" the whole time.
There is, but he's mad at. He's trying to shut down the ship.
He's just being a real dick.
He's just a dick. He's like, I don't like that there's a steamboat here. Or
So it's less of a Tom and Jerry, more of a Popeye and Bluto type situation.
Exactly, you get it.
Interesting.
Chat says, the professor says, don't let this old-timey cartoon get too racist, fellas, and we'll try our best. You know, easy to slip into that area with these things.
Yeah, we had like a whole bunch of racist caricatures that we were gonna draw in there, and then we were kind of like going through them one by one and being like, this one we should probably take out this one.
And the next thing we knew, there were none left.
Yeah, and now we just have this character here. Totally original character. Do not sue. But yeah, we really had to do some paring down in order to get this cast as you know, appropriate for the modern era as we could. You know, we took out Billy Blackface. We took out the super Chinese-looking twins.
I just changed the buttons from being on his pants to being nipples on his body, and I'm...
Honestly, I love it and keep it that way.
It's a good
the kind of detail that will throw people for a loop, and they'll be like, what the fuck? Oh, I see, I get it. You know, if I had to, if I was doing a performance review on Mickey Mouse / DrawBomb Mouse, just looking at this picture right here, you know what I would say?
What's that?
Is I would give him marks off because his hands are not on 10 and 2.
Right. This is a very dangerous way to drive a steamboat. Shame on him.
Yeah. I wonder if he's even counting 3 seconds between him and the boat in front of him.
He's just like singing away. He's not even paying attention to the things that...
I've sung in the car before. Let me tell you what, when you're singing in the car, you are not giving the driving the utmost attention it needs to be given.
Right.
Yeah. So, the fuck, you know? Maddie F says, yeah, I think you're thinking of Itchy and Scratchy. Yes, but I think Itchy and Scratchy is
sorry.
Much less violent than what I'm thinking of.
Itchy and Scratchy is a parody of Tom and Jerry.
Yes. Which I also, it's funny, you know, I was doing this one article on The Simpsons or whatever, so I was watching a bunch of Simpsons episodes, and Itchy, like, they brought back Itchy and Scratchy, or they didn't bring them back, but they had an Itchy and Scratchy segment in the one episode, and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot that these are like super bloody, like,
yeah.
It's obviously super exaggerated and goofy looking, but they are like just squirting out fountains of blood, and it's funny. But I also remember, I still think back of in the lens of when I got in trouble for wearing a shirt where it's like underachiever, I'm proud of it, man, which we've talked about in previous episodes. But I was just like, so did no one complain about like the super violent, like ripping out like the rib cage of like the characters or anything like that? Like I'm assuming there was complaints. But
I mean, that was making fun of all the violent. Yeah. Granted, like, Tom and Jerry is, like, silly version, but it's still people, like, bashing each other in the head. Like,
oh, yeah, they, like, get flattened with an accordion, or they get flattened with an anvil and then turn into an accordion.
So Simpsons was just kind of trying to do, like, an exaggerated version of that.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah. But I also just think that, American television definitely has a habit of sort of caring a lot about a lot of things, and then also like giving violence like a free pass.
Violence always gets a pass. We're like, oh, you swore, or there's a butt cheek, horrible.
Yeah.
But you can watch a guy explode into like mush on like daytime television. It's fun. I think also Simpsons was making fun of the fact that, I mean, they're a cartoon.
Yeah.
And so people were like, had expectations of what a cartoon should be, even though it's an adult cartoon.
Rife with social commentary, those Simpsons.
They're always Simpsoning.
Always getting their Simpsons.
Never stop Simpson, or always be Simpsoning.
That's right. Ain't no Simpson gonna break my stride. Ain't no Simpson gonna slow me down. I don't know where I'm
I was letting you go with that.
Well, feel free to stop me at any point. I'm gonna keep on going, though. Last night I had the strangest dream. Tell me down about the China.
I was hoping you'd incorporate more Simpson things.
Yeah, Last night I had this silhouette. Nope, I haven't hit any points where I can dub out the lyrics for Simpsons related things yet.
Okay. Well,
Last night I saw the strangest show. Anyways, yeah, let's
move on from that.
Yeah, let's move on. You playing any games?
Still been playing Satisfactory.
Oh, me too. That's crazy.
We've been fleshing out our factory. That's fun. Still been playing a little Cyberpunk here, although not as much. What else? I'm playing some Fall Guys again. Haven't done that in a while.
I haven't touched that game in a little bit, but I should go back into it, especially because they just threw in like a whole bunch of new content.
Yeah, the new season's pretty fun.
Game. I know I did like one race from the new season, and it was like a longer length race. And we had been talking before about like, I wish these races were a little longer. I make one screw up and it's over, but you know.
There you go. You got your wish.
I sure did.
How's it feel?
So, you know, it's a bittersweet feeling because now I got what I wanted, but also now I can't like.
Now you lose.
Yeah, I can't send death threats to the developers anymore.
I mean, you still can. Just find a new arbitrary reason.
Just find a new, very pointless, not at all like good reason to be extremely bereaved from all this and some more death threats. You're saying?
Yeah, and if you need inspiration, there's plenty of people that you can draw from these days.
That's fair.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I guess so. Anything else you've been playing, or is that pretty much the comprehensive list?
Maddie F says, sorry not to cut you off on that, but what is Satisfactory and would I like it? Please tell me what to like. Then the professor started answering and said, you build factories and killed weird aliens and power machines to power more factories. Maddie,
That's accurate.
I don't know if you'd like it or not. It's kind of like, it's like late game Minecraft where you're like building like farms to kind of streamline everything. That's kind of like what the majority of the game is right from the beginning. And you get, if you're like somebody that gets like, is like satisfied, it's called Satisfactory for a reason, but like if you get into the whole like building processes that streamline all the stuff you're trying to do, it's like one of those crafting games, like search and crafting games, but the way you kind of progress is by like building machines to do all your work for you, and you just like gradually have like a giant factory that has like 1,000 machines working for you.
Yeah, it's like have you, I mean, I know you at some point around the time I got City Skylines, I know you got City Skylines too. I don't know if you enjoy playing City Skylines. I do very much so, but it's kind of like if it's very much like the same vibe as City Skylines, where after a while it becomes less about the function of everything, and like it can be still about the function of everything, but like City Skylines hits a point where you built the city, it's running, staying alive, it's kind of running itself, and then you just start tinkering with the roads to try and get the traffic to flow better. And this game's kind of like that. It's like, sure, you're always upgrading, you're always like getting new stuff to play with and things like that, but after a while the factory pretty much runs itself, and then it's just up to you if you're like, do I want to scrap all of it and like
streamline it more?
Yeah, make my machines more efficient and compact, or do I want to explore more of the big open world map that there is there? Which is a really fun aspect of it that I enjoy. But you know, unlike City Skylines, you know, if you fuck up your factory, like you don't poison like a city of like 5,000 people. Instead, you just sort of I don't know, you have to figure out how to turn your power back on or something like that, or you get killed by a big spider monster or something like that. It's fun. I'm enjoying it, but it might be the type of video or game you would enjoy watching more than playing. I, for one, am loving playing it, but it's one of those games I could easily see having diminishing returns, especially depending on like what features sort of reveal themselves over time, things like that.
I think that's a pretty good description.
Yeah. That's all I do are good descriptions.
I'm enjoying it so far. But Matt, if that doesn't sound good to you, we should play some Raft.
Yes, we also have Raft.
Similar game, but except you're confined to a board that's floating in some weird water world ocean with 1 to 2 people.
Yeah, I'm almost confident that, Matt, you're the one who gifted me Raft. I know you've gifted me 1 game or 2. I know you gifted me that soccer game, but I feel like I didn't buy Raft. I feel like somebody bought Raft for me.
Matt says, Morgan really likes Raft, she'd probably play with you too, which is his way of saying, I'm not going to play with you, but you can play with her if you want.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we'll be happy to have her and not you on our Raft. And yes, he says yes, he is the one who gave me Raft, so thank you.
I like that game. They keep adding stuff. I'm interested to go back.
Yeah, since we played it for like a good amount, and then we stopped playing it for a while.
We got close to the end, and at the time, now they've added a lot since then, but...
Or did he's saying, or wait, did you buy Raft?
Maybe you guys simultaneously bought Raft for each other.
I think that was, it was like one of those like comedy movie situations where we're like, oh, I don't know what to get them, I'll get them this thing, and then we both open our gifts, and we both got each other the same watch.
It's like the story where the husband bought the wife a hairbrush and she cut off all her hair to buy him I don't know, something. Basically, both their gifts counteract each other.
Classic Emmett Otter's jug band situation. Emmett cut a hole in Ma's wash tub, and Ma fucked up Emmett's tool chest thing. And they both used it she used it to sell. She sold his tool chest to get herself a new dress, and then he cut the hole in the wash tub to make his, I guess like a fucking Les Claypool bass or something like that.
Well, that's a weird thing.
Yeah. And then they were both like, oh, we both sold each other's prized possession in order to get something for us without asking. But it's okay because we both did it, and we love each other, and we're a family. And that's Emmett Otter's Drug Band. There you go. That was the end of the movie. You don't gotta watch it now.
Oh boy. Well, I was going to, but I guess I'll skip it.
Yeah, skip it. Don't put it in that. I swear to God, if I see you watching Emmett Otter's Drug Band, I will fucking cry.
I mean, you won't see me watch it. You live like hundreds of miles away from me.
Oh, I don't need to be there. Drone technology is quite insane these days.
Wow, that's impressive that they have such range.
Oh, I pay a guy to like live stream the feed. You know, I'm giving too much away. I also feel like I shit on Emmett Otter's Drug Band a lot. Like the one Christmas episode, I was just like, yeah, don't watch it. But it's fine. It's fun.
I've never heard of this thing you're talking about.
Emmett Otter's Drug Band Christmas, whatever the fuck.
You could be very confidently making something up right now, and I would have no idea or any way to tell.
It's like a Muppets. It's a Muppets.
Are they puppets?
Thing, like, yeah, they're puppets. Like Kermit the Frog introduces them, and they're all like, it's a Jim Henson Co. sort of thing for Christmas. Yeah, it's on Amazon, I think, right now.
Oh shucks.
Or it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. And like all they do is like Emmett Otter is like with his friends trying to they're all trying to join a talent competition, and Emmett's like, gee, Ma, I sure am happy that we are a family. And then the mom's just like, oh, Emmett, I do believe that we are the happiest family of otters on this side of the river. And they do Christmas. No, they don't do Christmas shit. They do talent show shit. But then
I like that she constricts their happiness to species. Like, we are the happiest otters that exist.
Yeah, because they're not the happiest creatures.
We're just talking about happiest living things, not a chance. But as far as otters go, we're doing pretty good.
They're very impoverished.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hence why they sell each other's tool chest and.
The professor confirms it's real. Says their grandma used to put it on at Christmas.
Oh, well, there you go. My parents put it on for Christmas a lot too. And then we skipped it for a couple years because we were all just like, we've seen this like 80 times. Maybe we should take a break on it. And then we watched it this year because we had watched literally everything Christmas related and still had like 4 days left to go until Christmas. So that's what we did.
What you drawing?
It was the grassy hills in the background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
These up here are supposed to be the hills too.
Yeah, there's like the little patches of grass. I guess yeah, it's kind of.
You're all good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't encroaching on you.
I might actually be drawing the water right now. You know what? I am. So let me. The water is actually basically white.
White water.
White water. But yeah, it's a thing that exists for sure.
I believe you guys now.
I've thought,
there's been enough cited sources. Multiple people are confirming its existence, and that's what it takes for me to trust you on anything.
I mean, it's like when somebody points out the window and says, "Oh my God, it's snowing out," and then someone's just like, "No, it's not," and then they look out the window too, and they're just like, "Oh shit, you weren't lying."
Every once in a while, Morgan will say something to me, and I'm like, I check, and then I'm like, that's insulting. I'm realizing as I'm like checking the thing.
See, I have mixed feelings on that because I agree, but also sometimes I just want to take a look-see at the thing. Like sometimes it looks like I'm checking to verify these disputed claims, but actually all I'm doing is just like I want to see the snow.
That's how I'll lie about my verification from now on. I'll be like, I just want to see for myself.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to lie about it, like.
Well, that will be me. Well, that's me. Not. I don't believe her for anything she says. So that
okay.
will,
She'll be thrilled to know that.
That'll be how I lie while checking to see if she's making up more bullshit like she does every goddamn day.
Dare she? She's just so untrustworthy. But no, like I used to like when I was with my ex, like she'd be like, "It's snowing outside," and I'd be like, "Ooh," and then I'd go to the window and look, and she'd be like, "What? Like you didn't think it was snowing outside?"
Believe me? It's like, no,
I'd say, "Just wanted to see. Like snow is very whimsical."
You're supposed to go, indeed, and then turn away and walk away from the window in the opposite direction. Go into the basement.
Never look. Never look out the window again because it's rude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my beautiful dress I made for this.
Mother and son have very different accents, but maybe that's just an otter thing.
It might be. Okay, so here's 2 fun things about otters. Well, one's not about otters, one's about beavers, but...
Tell me 2 fun things about otters. Go.
Hear me out. So, number 1, they're looking for an otter in Zootopia during the first half of the movie, and his name is Emmett, and that part always made me giggle, because they're making an otter reference. Second of all, and this is not a fun fact, it's more of a gripe, but in fucking...
Oh, wait, what? This is for the segment, Minor Gripes?
Oh yeah, on our... Oh yeah, we should probably mention that.
We just invented this segment. We came up with it.
We invented it?
Minor Gripes.
We did not steal
trademark.
it from a guest spot on the Flumix podcast that Maddie F is part
of. Anybody else tries to do something like this, you'll be hearing from our lawyers.
That's right. Yeah, Minor Gripes. By the way, check out Flumix, the podcast starring Maddie F and Garrett Grepsky. I actually don't think that's is that a real last name? I know we call him Grepsky. We call him Grepsky, but I don't know why.
Not sure either, but it's a
okay,
good nickname.
Cool. Garrett Grepsky.
That's why. It's a good nickname.
It is a good nickname. It works. It's got its own flavor to it. Mm-hmm. But anyways, in the Chronicles of Narnia movie, and in the books actually, the kids are rescued by some beavers, and because I guess fucking animals just talk in Narnia and help humans out or whatever the fuck. It's like a whole thing.
Well, Narnia is like very vaguely related to the Bible, and there is a scene where the 12 disciples are rescued by beavers in the Bible. So.
Oh, interesting. I was not aware of that scene. Is that did the
That's
beavers
not
build
true.
a dam?
That's,
No, I
that's
know.
okay. I thought you actually were buying it, and I felt guilty.
No.
Yeah, no. There is a baptism gone wrong. They're flowing down a river towards a
Yeah, John the
waterfall.
Baptist took Jesus out to the river to baptize
He took him out
him.
too deep. And Jesus is like, "My son, this seems a little rapid," and he's like, "Nah, Jesus, it's fine." And then next thing you know, they get swept away towards a waterfall, and
Beavers build a dam, save him.
Jesus summons some beaters,
And then
to
Jesus-
build a dam, and then it rescues them all.
And then Jesus was like, "Yes, and from this day forward, pussy will now be known to refer to beavers." And the beavers were like,
Thank
can
you.
not, dude?
Oh, I thought it was like they do that sometimes in the Bible, where like after the snake tricked Adam and Eve, he's like, "Well, fuck your legs," and the snake didn't have legs anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, "Eat dirt, you piece of shit."
Also, pregnancies are gonna hurt hella bad now. That's also a thing I've decided. And like Eve's just like, what the fuck, dude?
He makes
like,
little like changes like late in
Yeah.
the game to just fuck with people.
It's like when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and a DM just starts like throwing shit in there because he's pissed off at his players.
Yeah.
That's all D&D is, or that's all the Bible is. It's an elaborate game of D&D that somebody was playing and his
Okay,
players.
I always like to read some comments from our followers, so here's one. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on Histickaroo Runine Quiver, bigfollows.com. So there you
You
go.
should definitely click that.
I think everybody
Hold on.
should click that. I will suggest that click it right away. It's
You should do text to speech. You can paste that into like Discord, and then it'll do like text to speech, or you can paste it somewhere and it'll do text to speech.
You know, I'm only gonna give them somewhat of a ad. They don't get the
They don't get the full
full shebang.
I want to hear what it says when you say that out loud, though, because that's like Eldritch speak right there. Anyways, going back to my original point, Chronicles of Narnia. The beavers are pussy. No, in Chronicles of Narnia, the beavers save the kids, and then the beavers are just like, "Oh yes, this is my husband, Beaver," and then Beaver's like, "Oi, and this is Mrs. Beaver," and it's just like, so wait.
Men are referred to as Beaver and women are referred to as Mrs. Beaver?
Yeah, like
What are they referred to before they have a husband?
Yeah,
Are
they Mrs. Nothing? Like it's a weird.
There's some issues in the beaver world in Narnia.
I don't understand this naming convention. Like, what about other beavers? Like, are you guys the only beavers in Narnia? Because I find that very strange and honestly a little suspect. Like, if there's a bunch of beavers before and they've gone missing, we really should look into the beaver family.
I blame Beaver and Mrs. Beaver.
They're the first on my list of my rogues gallery of people who are suspect. You know.
I vaguely remember that part of the book, but how funny would it be if they're Beaver and Mrs. Beaver, and then every other Beaver in the world is just like
Right.
Nathan Smith and like
Yeah.
Carl.
Hey, this is Eric. I'm a beaver too. Hi, and I'm Beaver and Mrs. Beaver. And it's like, wow, you guys.
Those guys are
real
freaks.
fucking-
Don't worry. You should not talk to them or go to their home.
Yeah,
They're assholes and weirdos.
If they try and give you food, you really shouldn't eat it. And they're like, oh, we ate like a whole meal with them.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well.
Looks like you're not going to be allowed to come back to Narnia anymore.
They're part of a weird beaver cult where they all just call themselves beavers.
Yeah, it's real strange. We think it's a sex cult. Just because everyone has to take Beaver's name, and that's just really strange. That's a little sus, you know. Did you ever read the books, The Chronicles of Narnia?
I think I did. I'm not. There's multiple ones, right?
There's 7.
Oh, okay. I read some of them. I didn't read all of them.
So I
read
all
like
of
the
them.
main one, right? Is there like a main one and then there's like extras? Kind of
There's
like
the
Wizard of
first
Oz
one.
and then like all the others?
there's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I read. Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe.
So I read them all as a kid, but it was also very confusing because I read them because we started reading Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in school, and then my mom was just like, "You should read the rest of them," and I was just like, "I'm a kid. If you tell me I have to do something, like I literally just can't not do it." So then I read the rest of the books, and I didn't like them. First and foremost, all 7 of them, I thought they were very boring.
You hated them so much, you only read 7 of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, once the 7th book is over, I'm putting this shit down. But also, like, the edition of the books my parents had, they all had fancy covers. Like, the original covers are like these little, like, woodcut ink prints that look all right. They look fine for the time. But this edition of books that, like, my parents had these, like, really fanciful, like, oil paint covers and shit like that, and, like, the covers made the books look way cooler than they actually were, because, like, the final book had, like, a unicorn with, like, blood dripping off of its horn, which is a fucking metal image.
Whoa.
But the books were also numbered in chronological order in the books, and so, like, the books come out, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, whatever the fucking one is next, and then, like, a next one, and then they go to, like, Prince Caspian, which is, like, a fucking prequel to the whole series for, like, book 4 or whatever. But this edition labeled all the books chronologically, so it's, like, Prince Caspian's first, then it's blah, and blah, which is really not how you're supposed to read them, which I don't have anything to add about that other than I think that's fucking dumb, and I hate when things do that.
Yeah.
Things are written in an order for a reason. It's like when TV shows, like, so many TV shows, if you, like, look into, like, the air dates of episodes and stuff, they're just like, this was actually, like, the 18th episode made, but the network just ended up airing this episode 8 episodes after the second part of the episode that kind of finished the arc, so the viewers actually got a little bit of a spoiler. And it's just like, why do that? Like, they made the episodes in order. Like, why are you airing them out of order?
It's them writing themselves into a corner and then fixing it and saying that, oh, we'll just watch it this way instead.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, we shit, what are we gonna do? But quick, write the first episode, and we'll just say they aired it out of order. But yeah, it's not. So are the Chronicles of Narnia book. And do you know how the Chronicles of Narnia books end? I feel like I've discussed this before. I think I talked about this on a previous episode of the podcast show, DrawBomb. But it ends with everyone dying.
Everyone?
Everyone. Like, not like the world, but like all of the main characters.
Will they go back when they're old?
It's like there's 8 people who, like, go to Narnia over the course of the books. It's like the first 4 kids. And then they slowly get filtered out into a second group of 4 kids who, like, take part in the final battle. Yeah, and what ends up happening is they, like, all of a sudden they're all in Narnia after, like, the big final battle, and, like, everyone's here, even the people who they kicked out of Narnia, and it's just like, yeah, Aslan's just, like, there, and he's just like, yeah, you guys were on a train, and then the train crashed, and you're all dead, and here we are. And then that's the end. And that's the end of the whole series, is, they died in a train crash, and so they all ended up in Narnia. And, that's it.
So, is that how they were there originally, or they died later and come to Narnia?
They died later and came, like, heaven is Narnia, or whatever. Like, They go to Narnia in the first place through the wardrobe, and I think they come up with an explanation for how a wardrobe is a portal to a magical place, like 4 books later, in that prequel, I'm pretty sure. But nah, they usually go through a wardrobe, and then, like, it's like time goes faster in Narnia than out in the real world, so, like, they go through the book, like, the portal, and then they come back out and they're like, gosh, it's been like 5 years, and everyone's just like, we had lunch, that's it, like, you've been gone no time at all.
Right.
But yeah, so then, like, the end of the book is they're just like, yeah, you were on a train and you died, train crashed and you're all dead,
welcome back.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I guess Narnia's maybe better than just dying in a train crash.
I mean, that's fair. It's also, Narnia's also probably better than World War II era London. You know, you get to sit out.
Who can say though? I mean, all I remember from the first book is like some kid sells out all his siblings for some weird fucking dessert that no one's ever heard of or eaten before.
Turkish delight.
The one.
Yeah. That kid is a fucking douche, and he remains a douche throughout. Like, I think that whole first book. I think eventually he becomes nice, or he's either that or he's a douche.
After the train crash, he goes to Hell Narnia, which is different.
Yeah. Which is basically like regular Narnia, except Prince Aslan, his mane is like all mangy, and he's just like, we haven't had water in days.
That's Hell Narnia?
Yeah, that's Hell Narnia. It's like the beavers dammed up, the beaver family dammed up all the water, and they just, no one knows how to drink. Everyone's got a really scratchy throat. Chronicles of Narnia. Alright, now that we've discussed that at length, we don't ever gotta talk about that bullshit again.
Thank God, until I forget, then we talk about it again.
Yeah. I will say though, like, one last thing about Chronicles of Narnia is my ex and I started watching like those movies just because we had time to kill, and we were like, we found the movies on fucking, I think, Netflix or whatever. We were watching them, and then like we got to like the climactic scene of the second movie, where like for the fifth time in the movies they had amassed a giant army of like centaurs and animals, and we're like, we're gonna go fight the other army of bad centaurs and animals.
Yeah.
And then we just turned it off because we were just like, I'm done. Like, this is...
Yeah, the movies were not very good, from what I remember.
They were pretty lame.
I liked the book, and the movie came out when I was still somewhat younger, so I watched the movie, and I was just like, nah.
You mean, you saw the James McAvoy movie, right? He plays Mr. Tumnus.
The most recent.
Yeah.
One. I haven't seen it long enough to know who's in it or anything about it.
Oh, yeah. James McAvoy plays Mr. Tumnus.
The professor says, never read the whole series, but I remember Liam Neeson was the lion in the movies.
Was he now? That probably makes sense.
That's a fitting voice.
Yeah, I think so. He's got like a good voice, nice and gravelly, and you know, it's got like that air of importance to it.
It's got like Scottish, but I mean, when you're making an American movie and you're trying to make a character seem wise, it doesn't matter what European accent it is, as long as there's one of them.
They're just like, oh yeah, it's from like one of those fucking places.
You can do like Cockney, like English, and people are like, wow, so charming. And it's like, people in England are like, that's like redneck over here, like. Yeah,
like you could give a character a fucking Irish accent, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, this dude's from fucking Yugoslavia or whatever, and a bunch of Americans will be like, probably. I'll accept it, and then everyone else is just like, this is fucking dumb.
It doesn't sound right, but I'm not smart enough to deny that.
Yeah, Narnia is dumb. I didn't like it. And then the new movies, definitely not great. And then in school, when we finished reading the book, like the new movies hadn't been out yet, so we watched older versions of the movies, which were even more rough. Because they didn't have a fucking CGI lion in them.
What did they do for the lion?
God, I don't even remember, man. Probably a puppet.
That's awesome. That sounds better.
Yeah, I would probably prefer it, honestly. It's a lot more fun to watch a person like do a puppet of a lion than to see a CGI lion that doesn't really hold up over time.
It's more entertaining to watch people struggle than to watch the real thing.
Yeah, 100%. Oh look, he can't even open the mouth right. It's so dumb.
Idiot. I watched live action's Turtles with Morgan recently for the first time, and we had a lot of fun making fun of the costumes, but at the end she was also like, that was actually a decent movie. And I'm like, I know.
Live action Turtles?
The first one.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just a YouTube video of turtles walking around.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. Like, I told you about this. It's great.
There are not a lot of movies someone can be talking about if they're talking about that turtle movie. Like, there's if someone were to say
any others actually.
Yeah. Okay, here's a fun game. I'm gonna try and describe a movie as broadly as I can, like a word that would define the movie in one sentence, but like at the same, like try and describe a movie with the least amount of words, but at the same time, it's like the only movie that could be that thing, you know?
I think I understand. Go.
So let me try and think of a movie first. Big group of Steely boys.
Transformers?
Not Steely, like stealing.
Ocean's 11?
Yep. Big group of Steel Boys. Transformers. Let me think what else. What's a you do one?
Okay, so remind me. What's the rules here? Just like try to describe it in like the most vague terms.
Try and describe it in the most vague term, but at the same time, like it's the only movie that could be that movie.
Okay, let me think. Boy, this is hard to come up with something though.
I know, right? I find that it's best to like.
If anybody in the chat wants to throw any out.
Yeah, throw some movies out there and we'll try and describe them in as few words.
Or throw out your like weird.
Oh yeah,
description for them.
Zone Dogs, fan of the show, friend of the show, says Euro Trip. Scotty doesn't know. That's Euro Trip right there.
True. It's the alternate title.
Yeah, exactly. Zone Dog also says they have an alternate movie. Matty F also got Ocean's 11 right. He guessed it in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man
almost
no
beat me,
eat.
but I got there real quick. Man no eat. Is that what is that? Man no eat.
Something about like hunger strike. Is that that movie with they do the hunger strike and it's Michael Fassbender in the prison. He's like the Irish.
I feel like you're digging in too deep. Maybe you're right, but I feel like it's something simpler than that. Oh, you got it. Okay, never mind.
Steve McQueen, baby. Let me see. Okay, I got one for you. You're being chased by a robot.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Yep, that is correct.
Terminator. I got one for you.
Okay.
It's just Terminator 2. I was gonna say, you're hanging out with a robot.
Terminator 2. Or Ex Machina. Actually, no. Ex Machina is more like you're hanging out with the guy who built a robot.
The movie is good.
That was a good movie.
Bill and Ted.
Phone booth history fun.
Well, Zone Dog said man says whoa, and that's what I thought Bill and Ted.
Oh, The Matrix. Hanging out with the robot Chappie is actually also correct. Wait, so is it? Zone Dog says yeah. Is it The Matrix or is it? What did you say?
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
So yeah, both was.
The Matrix.
Well, I had the right actor. I just didn't have the right.
That's fair. You did have the right actor. That is true. I got one for you. There's an alien.
Alien?
Yep. You got it.
Oh yeah.
This isn't taboo. You can say the name of the movie in it.
All right, I got one for you. There's an extraterrestrial.
E.T.
Yeah.
Got it. Man says, "Oh wow." That could be either Bottle Rocket.
It's everything with Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it's anything with Owen Wilson. I'm gonna say You, Me, and Dupree specifically.
I'm gonna go with Wedding Crashers.
That's a good one too. Good guess. Spare no expense. That's Jurassic Park right there. But I feel like now we're doing like buzzwords that relate to the movies. Like it's got to be like a description of the movie.
This game has lost its purity, which once made it special.
Right.
This game's
you guys aren't even doing the rules right. But it's like I would describe game ruined. Like I would describe Jurassic Park as the movie with all the dinosaurs.
But that's such an obvious. I guess a lot of them are obvious.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to come up with that quick and obvious alternative explanation. It's got all those dinosaurs.
How about something like Reptile Jailbreak?
Reptile Jailbreak. That is Jurassic Park right there. That's definitely an alternate title. That is like. That's what they would. That's like
the other country that doesn't have a good translation.
Yeah, or like the knockoff toys that like they make, and they're not allowed to use the phrase Jurassic Park. I see what you're doing here.
Took you long enough. I think we're mixing up our literary witches in this great drawing. You know, you are probably correct. You know, it's a book, so this is how I visualized her. So you don't tell me.
Yeah, you can't tell us how to visualize shit. Like, for instance, I got a scarecrow here, you know, like from Wizard of Oz, but guess what?
Oh, you're doing I was doing Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe.
Oh, now the scarecrow's drawing. Now the scarecrow's wearing a sorting hat. Who's got a nose? Oh, he's not a sorting hat. He's a swearing hat.
Oh, he's a naughty boy. This is for the PG-13 Harry Potter. This is the one F word they chose.
That's right. I've seen some movies allow the use of 2 F words and still retain.
I think it depends who's making the call at the time the movie came out, because like there's movies under PG-13 that get a fuck in them occasionally, like old movies. And it's
yeah,
like,
that's true.
That seems weird.
I saw.
I don't mind. Who cares? But
oh yeah, I don't give a shit. But there's a Ricky Gervais movie, Ghost Town, I think is what it's called, and I know somebody says the F word twice in that movie. The first time, I don't remember. I think someone just goes, "Oh fuck," and then like the second time is the one dude's just like, "Cause you're such a fucking prick," and I was just like, that's 2 right there. You've crossed the PG-13 threshold. Crossed that 13 threshold. Now you're in straight up our territory, but you're back in the 13.
PG-13 means you're only allowed to say fuck 13 times in your movie.
That's right. Get them out now while you got the chance. Every minute that the movie goes on, you're running out of fucks you can say. It's a ticking clock. It's like sands in the hourglass.
So are the days, the fucks of our lives.
That's right. I love it when a movie just like immediately throws out any of its like, it can't be anything less than what it is from like one scene. It's like in From Dusk Till Dawn when they brought in Cheech Marin and he just says the word pussy like 50 times in one sentence. It's like that movie ain't getting back from an R rating. I mean, sure, like the next scene's gonna feature them exploding a bunch of shit.
I feel like anything Quentin Tarantino's involved with or didn't get an R rating, he'd be personally offended.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would love to see Quentin Tarantino direct a PG movie. I think that'd be an interesting experiment.
There's been talk. I don't see it ever happening, but there's been talks for like 5 years now of him doing a Star Trek movie, and it'd be amazing. But I don't know. I still think it would be R.
Oh, I think it would be R.
It'd be like some weird like dude on the bridge like talking about like weird shit.
I fucked this alien chick the other night, dude.
Saying the F word and the N word every 10 seconds, but it'd be great.
Her one titty opened up and started sucking on my titty, dude. Like, what was that about?
He should just make a sci-fi movie regardless, because it'd be...
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Like what, he's got like one movie left if he sticks to his...
If he, like his current deal with...
Yeah, well, it's not a deal, but he just like, I think from like a legacy standpoint, he's like, I want to do 10 movies and be out. I don't want to just like keep making
He hasn't even
stuff.
done 10 movies yet?
I think he's 1 away from 10.
Oh wow, I didn't realize. I figured he had already hit that mark some time ago.
But makes it weird. Or, you know, he's made like 6 revenge flicks though. It's like the last 6. Like makes it weird that's like out of there, or just fuck off with those rules and make a lot more movies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I kind of picture him doing the thing like I just picture him doing like the Hayao Miyazaki thing, where Hayao Miyazaki is like he retires like every 3 years, like after he finishes like a movie, he's like, that's it, I'm done, I'm retired, and then like he goes home and then like he doesn't make a movie for a year, and then he's just like, yeah, so I've got this ambitious new project and I'm out of retirement and I'm gonna make one more film. This is my last one. I swear. And then he finishes that one and then wash, rinse, repeat. He's like retired and unretired like 3 times.
He's like, it turns out I really like making movies, so here's another one. It's like, yeah, well, what else are you gonna do? You like doing this?
Yeah, that's like your thing.
People will give you an unfathomable amount of money to do it. So if you enjoy doing it, now's the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Zone Dog, and I think he's doing this in the voice of Samuel Jackson or somebody, and he's saying, "It's the fucking Klingons, motherfucking on fucking screen, motherfucker."
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
That's what would happen.
Yep.
And I'd be there for it.
I would watch it. I want Quentin Tarantino to do a cameo in one of his movies though, as like Quentin Tarantino, like just doing the most Quentin Tarantino he can be. Quentin Tarantino just going like, yeah man, like like that. You know how I'm not even gonna try and do a Quentin Tarantino impression, but you know how he's like.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Just picture a person who's on a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, he's on.
And that's how he's like.
There's that one scene in a movie, I don't know what movie it's in, but he has like a cameo, or I don't even know if I was watching some weird thing, but I seen a clip of a movie where it's like Quentin Tarantino talking to like some dude at a party about Top Gun, and then they like talk about it like being like a gay movie because of all like the like.
Because it's homoerotic.
It's a very homoerotic movie. There's just no dancing around that. And it's just like I don't know what scene. I feel like it was probably a Robert Rodriguez movie, because if Quentin Tarantino's in any movies, that's not his own. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie. Let me look this up real quick. But he's like playing himself, like being his like super hyper, like really into movies,
yeah.
Like.
They probably just let him go.
Yeah. I'm looking this up right now. Quentin Tarantino about Top Gun from the movie Sleep With Me by Rory Kelly. I'm looking up the Wikipedia article about the movie now. It is not a well-rated movie. But Quentin Tarantino does make a cameo. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Sounds good.
He's 100% playing himself in that movie. He's playing him like he's not. It's almost like he's not acting. It's like that's how I pictured Quentin Tarantino.
They probably did just let him go and be like, "Hey, talk about your opinion on Top Gun."
Oh, hey, great. It's good. That's great. And that's what happened. What a guy. What a fella.
Yeah, I like his movies. He's a weirdo. It's kind of where my opinions begin and end.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't have anything like that I can say otherwise about him. And his movies, he makes some good ass movies though.
Yeah, I really enjoy them.
I do too.
I feel like it makes me feel like this is just me being like not liking to jump on with hype, but I don't know, I feel like a bro for liking his movies, but they're good movies. I don't know what to say.
I feel that because his movies have definitely undergone a lot of scrutiny more recently. And,
I feel like when I talk about his movies, I feel like I'm one of those people that come up to me and try to tell me about the Joe Rogan podcast. And
that's
like,
fair.
Fuck off.
No, that's 100%. I mean, that is 100% fair. It's like that, or it's like somebody who tries to tell me about. I can't think of a better example than Joe Rogan podcast. That's the vibe. Because like there's a bunch of dudes who are like, oh, or it's like a dude who dresses up like the Joker for Halloween, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like Rick and Morty's fan base, how they're like you have to be smart to enjoy this, and it's like, no, you're an idiot. He's like that's the vibe that a lot of people who like his stuff give off, but I still like this stuff. It's good.
Yeah, they're fun movies.
It's like, I mean, I also like Rick and Morty, but the fan base is toxic, or a lot of them are.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's also interesting too, because he's definitely a director who's made a name for himself by having like his style. You know, there's a lot of directors who make great movies who you're not like, I could pick this dude's movies out of a lineup, like aside from the fact that I know what movies this guy made. Like,
yeah,
Quentin Tarantino movies are gonna have like all these like crazy genre crossovers and like interstitial titles that like have like a guitar twang over them, and they're very stylized. And
all my favorite directors are the ones that when I watch their stuff, I know who's making it without knowing who's making it. You know, like like if they separate themselves from the pack by like their style of filmmaking, that's what draws me to it.
I think that's fair. I think that's definitely like a preference thing, because I think there's plenty of fantastic directors whose movies don't necessarily scream like, I'm this guy's movie, but they do have like a really solid...
Yeah, they do great work, but I love being caught off guard. I'm the one thing about film that bores me the most is just like being bored. I know it seems like, but I'm just saying, like, seeing the cliche stuff that you've seen 1,000 times, and it's like, maybe uninspired is a little too harsh, but just seeing like the same thing over and over is boring to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to see the same movie 1,000 times. I'll do something else.
Yeah.
I get bored. So I like the directors where they're like, they make something, you're like, oh, I've never seen anything like that. That was wild, or that was unique, and that's what I'm interested in. Otherwise, I don't need to watch the same movie 1,000 times.
I think that's fair. I agree, first of all, that his movies are really fun to watch, and he makes great movies, and he writes a damn good script with some great monologues. I think that's definitely that's one of Tarantino's strong points, are his monologues.
Yeah.
Or just like the way characters like talk to each other. He's very good at writing dialogue. And just like these interesting like characters. But I mean, I don't have any but. I just think, like, for instance, I'm a big fan of Coen Brothers movies.
Mm-hmm. That's another.
But their movies are good, but they don't always scream like Coen Brothers movie. Like they
I think a lot of them like, do, but not all of them.
Not all of them, but I mean, like, some of them have like a Coen Brothers vibe in the way that they like, in the types of stories they choose to tell, because they're always directing their own scripts, and they write their scripts like, their scripts have like these very similar qualities to them. But like in a purely directorial sense, like, I don't think there's a lot of difference between like Inside Llewyn Davis and like, I don't know, Walk the Line. I don't know, I haven't seen Walk the Line, so I can't actually.
But that's the example you gave. You haven't seen it.
Well, it's another movie set in like the 50s/60s about a musician.
I will say, and maybe it's true for, it's honestly, now that we're talking about it and breaking it down, I think it's true for all of my favorite directors, but the thing that I often find separates them is the way they do dialogue. Like, Coen Brothers is another very, like, just conversational, weird, like, the scripts are very, like, written like people would talk, and not like you expect a movie to play out. And Quentin Tarantino has that going for him. Who else?
I mean, when it comes to Tarantino, I think his dialogue does have a different vibe to it. Like, it is very monologue based. Like, there's a lot of people like sitting down, let me tell you a story, and then they like have like 5 minutes of interrupted speaking. Whereas I think the Coen Brothers are more realistically conversational, where like characters will like cut each other off and talk back and forth and like forget what they're saying and like stutter and mumble a lot. I think like Tarantino writes great dialogue, but I don't think his approach is conversational quite the way that the Coen Brothers do.
Maybe unique dialogue is what I'm trying to say.
I think that's fair. I mean, I think dialogue's important. I think, like I've seen so many goddamn movies, especially like superhero movies, where everyone's just or like military, like a lot of genre movies are like full of characters who are just so dang confident that like what they're saying is like if you've ever watched like fucking like okay, so like for instance, I was watching this DC animated movie the one time, and it's like the Justice League is like trying to find out who's attacking them and etc etc, and the characters are always just like, that's a generator, blah 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 blah, the only way we can get to that generator is flying there. Can you do that? I can do this thing and that other thing. Okay, let's go. And like no one's ever just like, fuck man, that's a generator, like what do we do about a generator
exactly.
that does this and that? And it's like, no, everyone's always got the answer, everyone's very confident in what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the hero can't be unsure of himself at any point.
It's not fun to watch.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch, and I mean, I did end up enjoying that movie because the fight scene at the end was fucking dope. But yeah, it's that sort of like style of dialogue. It comes across way more expository, and it's like the characters aren't characters, more so they're just like placeholders there to get a plot point across so that they can then go and punch the things. And I feel like a lot of movies write their characters that way. So when you have like the dialogue and like the dialogue just like really kind of giving a sense of personality to the people, it's almost like unique and like unexpected.
It's funny because that shouldn't be the thing that sets them apart, but yeah, it makes it feel unique, and it's like, why everybody should be doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like the fact that that's a really good way to describe it. Like they let the dialogue flesh out the characters versus just telling you who the characters are. Hi, I'm so and so, and I'm a hardcore badass who doesn't play by the rules. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they play it out, and that's what more movies need to do, or at least I don't need to, but that's what I would like them to do.
I would like to see more movies that handle their dialogue in a more
and I think it's more common these days. Less stuff is, and I think if you go far enough back, like if you go back like 80s and 70s, they were pretty good about it, but there was just a period through like the 90s and the 2000s where everything just got very bland and like I don't know. Or maybe I'm just looking through the lens of like I'm just remembering the good things from those eras. You know?
Well, I think
there's always bad movies, so there's gonna be bad movies every year for until we don't exist anymore. But
yeah, I think the bad. I mean, I think that is. I don't want to say it's bad writing, but I do think it's not great writing to handle dialogue in a way where it's purely expository and the characters don't matter. Because like in the end, I mean that's what people connect to the most are the characters. They like all the plots are basically different recycled plot points just jumbled up with like you can only have so many different plot things happen after a while, and I think we've pretty much hit the point where like literally nothing new can be come up with, and if it is come up with, it's usually going to come from a completely like outside perspective than whoever's currently making movies normally.
Right.
So I think when you have a bunch of characters who are basically there to move the plot forward but not to take a little bit too much of the spotlight, then you're just sort of watching like somebody like took a bunch of different balls, wrote like the different story beats out, and then threw it in one of those like lottery roller things, and then they just like rolled it around a couple times, and you're just sort of like watching somebody pick it up and be like, and there's a bomb, and we're gonna spin it again.
It's like the whole South Park thing where they're
Cheating
describing
wife.
Family Guy scripts.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
manatees picking balls out of it.
Yeah. And like at some point, that's kind of what movies are. Is just like a similar like a bunch of balls being picked by manatees in a fucking aquarium. So like the only way to really give a movie its own vibe is like fucking having characters that are fleshed out, or any.
There's a lot of aspects that go into that part, but that's definitely a big aspect of it. I think you don't really see those like classic style movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like where like I don't know how to describe it. Like big set pieces and like like dialogue and like live action stuff that's not CGI, and like that kind of stuff. It just feels like an old like classic movie. You don't really see that anymore. It's not in the budget.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the reasons I think Knives Out works so well, we were talking about that recently because we just watched it again. Well, I watched it again for family, but Knives Out's really good because it does give all these different, like, it's, you know, it's a whodunit, it's got a bunch of characters in a house, like, who have to, like, try and, like, clear their name of this murder, you know, when it comes to Knives Out, they do a great job of setting up, like, the personalities of, like, the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps with, like, the format of the movie.
I was gonna say, whodunits are the best, like, format that exists for, like, I'm so-and-so, and this is who I am. Oh yeah, well I'm so-and-so. And you could even, like, just do, like, a scene where they're being, like, interviewed.
Yeah. And that's, so, like, yeah, Knives Out kind of, it's easier to do it with a whodunit, for sure, to do that sort of thing. But, like, yeah, figuring out a way to really characterize different characters is tough to do, and especially tough to do in a way where it's not, like, this character is the so-and-so. Wink! You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, okay, so one example I think of a movie that does a good job. So, like, I hated this movie, but I thought the opening scene did a good job of separating the two characters from each other. Well, actually, more so just describing the character. So, like, okay, remember this one shitty wolf movie called Kicking and Screaming, where he's basically a dad who coaches, like, a...
Oh, yeah, I don't think I ever actually saw it, which is surprising, because it came out right, like, when Will Ferrell was...
Like peak popularity.
A-lister, yeah, peak Will Ferrell, and I don't think I saw it.
You don't need to. But there's an opening scene where, like, Will Ferrell's, like, in the hospital, and, like, his wife's just had a baby, and also, I think, I could be remembering this wrong, his dad just had a baby, like, with their mom or whatever. I don't know how the timing works out exactly, but they're in the hospital at the same time, both with, like, their kids there. And Will Ferrell's dad is, like, looking at their kids, and then Will Ferrell's dad's just like, yeah, my kid's a little bigger than yours. And then, like, from there on, you know, like, Will Ferrell's dad is competitive.
Okay, got it.
And, like, there's always, like, that rivalry going on. And I was like, you know what? Even though this movie sucks, I got the vibe about that dad from a quick throwaway line that it didn't feel like they were winking at me. And that's about the most credit I can really give that movie, aside from, like, they have a couple funny kids in there.
People used to like that a lot when I was, you know, I don't know why I didn't see it, but at the time that it came out, I remember people telling me to watch it a lot. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying people liked anything with Will Ferrell in it, but...
That's fair, yeah.
I don't know, I haven't had a chance to watch it and actually judge it myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, and also, like, it's been a long time since I watched that movie. I'm not saying it's probably great or anything like that, but my opinion has changed on a lot of movies and albums and what have you over time. So maybe it's one of those films where I just
like it more now. Maybe.
Sometimes you're just not in the mood for, like, that particular movie, and then you watch it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of movies I've watched where I was like, that was awful, and then I go on to, like, really, like, it's one of my favorites or something, or, like, not my favorites, but, like, I go on to really love it. I remember seeing Zoolander as a young child and being like, this was so dumb, and then I saw it again as a slightly older child, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I remember Hot Tub Time Machine. Did not like it the first time I watched it at all, and then I watched it with my roommate, like, a few years later. Like, we were just hanging out, and he put on Hot Tub Time Machine, because he had asked me to go see the sequel movie, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, in theaters the next day, and I was just like, I mean, it's been a long time since I watched Hot Tub Time Machine. I didn't like it, but I mean, I'll go with you because I like going to the movies. Like, I like going to places. So then we watched Hot Tub Time Machine in his room, and then I liked it then, and I was like, oh, I don't know why I didn't fucking like this movie.
Sometimes it just, you know, it depends on who you are when you watch it, if it resonates at that time and all that.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't catch on to, like, what they're trying to do the first time around, which can be seen as a flaw of the movie, but sometimes, I mean, you know, sometimes it's the viewers who have the flaw, you know?
Right. Or who the viewer is, you know, maybe you're not the target audience and later you are.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I don't know what happened with Hot Tub Time Machine, but I did end up liking it a lot more the second time around.
I do like the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but I like the first one quite a bit.
The second one's fun. I think it's definitely more forgettable than the first movie because it almost feels like a throwaway, like, thing. Like it feels like they made Hot Tub Time Machine 2 just to get it out of the door. Like we had the script for a sequel. I don't want to make it, but we have it here, so let's just fucking whip it up real quick and get this shit done.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's got its moments of enjoyable parts, but overall, I thought it was not as much of a, like, I could watch the first one again, and then I'd probably watch the second one again, maybe if, like, just to be like, this is the next one.
Yeah. I mean, that's true about it.
Yeah.
It is the next one. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Alright, I'll see if I can draw Dorothy in here real quick.
Just like in the back, like peeking over, like, hey guys.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in the movie too. Hey there, folks. We're gonna draw Dorothy in here, but first, before I draw Dorothy, I'm gonna draw Scooby-Doo because Dorothy had a dog in that movie, and I'm pretty sure it was Scooby-Doo. So I'm pulling up a picture of Scooby-Doo here. Now Scooby-Doo basically was a human who walked on his hind legs. So that's what he's doing here because that's true to the character, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost confident. He has a blue leash on. I mean, here he is dancing with Velma in this one screenshot, so obviously he walks on his hind legs. There can be no other reason. Gotta give him dog legs. How's everyone doing tonight? Feel free to put lips in the chat if you're feeling alright. Or to put lips in the chat if you're not feeling alright. Just feel free to put lips in the chat. That's all I'm saying. Put those lips emojis in the chat. Engagement. I don't think that affects the algorithm whatsoever, but it helps my algorithm of happiness, if you know what I mean. So lips in the chat, lips in the chat, lips in the chat. I was gonna be so surprised to see Scooby-Doo in here.
I've returned.
Hello.
That's not Dorothy.
No, I drew Scooby-Doo instead.
Right. Well, you know. That's Toto.
Now we can't play licensed music.
Yeah, Dorothy's dog from Wizard of Oz is the one who played Africa and
That's right.
Rosanna.
Turns out those songs are actually, like, Rosanna is about the woman who tried to kill Toto in the movie before, you know, she got crushed by her house. And then Africa is actually just a veiled reference to Wonderland.
Wait, you're Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Wow, this is convoluted.
Yeah, it's
a lot of layers.
Toto was a troubled, very deep, metaphorical, metatextual musician like that. You know?
The lion, the witch, the
Wizard of Oz, the wardrobe,
The Lion, the
Where
Witch,
are
the
you?
Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, where are you, Lion, Witch, Wardrobe, Wizard of Oz?
Boy, I'll have a real challenge coming up with the title for this one when I put it on Twitter.
I'm very excited to see what you come up with. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Halloween for
Where
friends who
are
can't
you?
agree.
Follow the yellow brick road now. As I can see. The
Shaggy
way
should know
you
that
pick
it's
your
not
heels.
healthy to give your dog marijuana.
They went through a poppy seed like forest, man. They fucking did heroin.
What?
They went through a field of poppies in Wizard of Oz. That's like a plot point. Is they go through a poppy field and like they get all fucked up.
Huh. Yeah,
Wait, so
I
that's
recall that, but I didn't realize that that was like a drug thing. I thought it was just like, I don't know, the way that the witch did her witch magic.
I mean, possibly, but also like.
I like your
They are
answer better.
pop-
That sounds more fun.
Yeah, they're poppies, man. Like,
Is poppies how you make heroin?
I'm pretty sure, like poppy seeds, like.
They put poppy seeds in dressing.
They do. They put that like there's that thing where like you know that whole.
It can also get you like you can like have a drug test go off because of that.
Yeah, that's why. That's why is they make opium. I'm sorry, not heroin. Opium is what they make
Oh.
with. But to be fair, they also use opium to make heroin. So I was right.
You know, it's just about. It takes a few steps to get there, but you were right.
6 degrees of heroin.
Is Kevin Bacon involved in that?
No, Kevin Bacon doesn't do heroin as far as I know.
Good for him.
Although, I mean, I saw the show The Following, and
Yeah, you mentioned every
someone
episode,
was
I think.
high. Yeah, I know. It's a fucking insane show, and I do actually, like, it's not good. But if anyone wants to watch a show that's just fucking nuts, because, like, what it is, like...
Anybody wants to watch a show that's not good.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon was like, I want to be in a show that's like 24. So his agent was like, alright. And then they made The Following.
That's what they gave him. He's like,
Yeah.
This is not what I asked for.
And it's... Because, like, you do get the vibe that they're trying to do, like, a 24 type thing without the whole constantly... Like, it's, like, the same, like, sort of vibe without the real-time counter thing.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. Like, when I was watching it, I was just like... It's like they tried to make the 24 with Kevin Bacon, and then I looked it up, and, like, that's exactly what they did.
It's one way to do it.
So yeah, The Following is a crazy fucking show. Literally not one episode goes by where somebody doesn't die from getting stabbed to death.
Wow.
And getting stabbed to death in that show, it depends on if you're the main character or if you're a rando. Because if you're a rando, getting stabbed to death is like somebody walks up to you with a knife and goes, and then you're dead. You just fall over.
Oh, okay.
But if you're a main character, you get to go to the hospital and live and everything.
Wow.
Unless they decide that you're a main character who they wanted to kill, in which case then it's so bad. And then like it's one of those shows where like they kind of shot their wad in the first season, so like the second season they just had to get even weirder and crazier. Like it's a fucking crazy show, like not in a good way. It's
Are
just
you sure
like,
it's not your favorite show?
It's kind of is though.
you bring it up often.
If
And
you
that's
were
okay,
like,
but I'm just saying.
if you were like, hey Ian, we wanna hold on, I think Dorothy's hair is closer to this, isn't it? Or I haven't watched
Like
that.
like a reddish?
Like more reddish, isn't it?
Oh, I thought her hair was like brown.
It probably is. I don't know. I might be thinking of fucking the Wendy's girl.
Yeah. Wendy's girl's hair is red. Dorothy is she doesn't serve hamburgers
Reddish.
at all. Is it reddish?
Yeah, look here. I'm gonna send you a pic real quick.
You know, I'm only thinking about the first part of the movie where it's gray.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a different color than. But like, okay, here's a screenshot I'm sending Brandon only, but it's like if in the shadow it's brown, but in the red it's
it's
pretty,
reddish.
light.
You're right.
It's reddish.
Okay. All right. Fuck you. You're right.
But yeah, like it's not my favorite show, but like if you were like, hey, do you want to sit down and like I'll watch the following, I'd be like,
You'd be
yes.
psyched.
Yeah. Like you don't know what the fuck you're in for. This show is nuts. It's fucking insane, and also it's very funny. So like this is one of my favorite things ever. Is in the very first episode you get a vibe for like how dumb this show is gonna be, because what happens is the main bad guy escapes from prison and like kills people because he was so inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know, man. But anyway,
I just love that you're describing the following again.
I know, it's like the 7th time I've described it, probably on this show.
I'd love to hear it again.
But so like there's this sequence where like he escapes and they're like he's like escaped into a building somewhere. So they go into the building and they find a dude who's like been killed and he's sitting on a chair. And then like just to make sure you know who did it, they have written on blood in the wall, Poe, in just big letters, and it's just like, oh, you mean the guy you said was his inspiration? Like
that's
every
his
scene
calling
leading up to this point. That's his calling card, all right. It's just so stupid, and like that's like the same energy they bring to every episode of the show, and it's just so fucking so insane and then funny at the same time. And then occasionally there's a moment in the show where you're just like, that's actually like an interesting thing you did there, and then they like kill everyone involved with the interesting thing and are just like, nope, we're doing this thing instead.
Just enough to keep you on the hook.
Yeah, and it's like fucking so stupid. It's such a stupid show. I love it. So stupid. Oh my god. Just so dumb.
You should watch it again. Maybe that's going to be one of those examples of a thing that you watch a second time and realize it's brilliant.
I've already seen it like 5 times.
What's wrong with you?
It's fucking a hilarious show, dude. It's also like the soundtrack is like fucking bad sometimes. Like there's like this one scene in the first episode of the 2nd season where like you're finding out all of like they set you up for like a lot of different things. And then they sort of like say, this is what this is gonna be like in the 2nd season. And as they're like revealing all these things, like there's this like real shitty song playing in the background where this dude's like mumbling into the microphone and it sounds terrible. And that's it. That's all. That's it. It's just a really fucking bad song that they used to underscore like a really important moment in the beginning of the 2nd season. But it just sounds so bad. It sounds terrible, and it's like, why would you pick this terrible fucking sounding song in this? It's just, it's such a questionable, like, who is making the decisions behind this show, and who didn't tell them they should stop, you know?
Clearly no one.
Nobody. Not one. Hey, we need to draw the wardrobe in here somewhere.
Do we? Okay.
No, I'm gonna do it real quick over here in the top left. So yeah, if you want to see a really dumb, bad show, it's only got 3 seasons, and they just get worse and worse as they go. Watch the following, because what even was the years 2000... 2013 to 2015, really. I mean, Jesus. So dumb.
Sounds
so
really good.
Dumb. It's so dumb, and it's great, and I love it, but it's dumb.
You do love it. You're a big fan, and
What a terrible show.
I have shows that I think aren't good that I like. Can't think of any examples right now, but they exist.
Yeah. It's just like... so dumb. I don't know, every time I think about the show, I just like my brain seizes up, and I'm just like fascinated at how such a bad show was made and went on for 3 full seasons, all like while retaining this aura of like we're a very serious show. Like this show is so damn serious. Like we're trying to catch a serial killer in this show.
Some of the viewers probably took it that serious.
I believe it.
If it lasted that long.
I mean, if I were around, I mean, if I had been watching the show when it was like on the air, I would have been one of the reasons it was still going, because I would have been watching it every episode that aired, being like, what dumb fucking shit are they gonna do this time?
I mean, a lot of shows have that reason for them being popular.
That's true.
I think, honestly, I know, like, this is a different... Honestly, when you get into, like, reality TV, it's all trashy. But I think most people, like... I have multiple friends that, like, are, like... into The Bachelor or The Bachelorette just because they're like, this show's fucking trash. And
yeah.
I can't
Trash.
stop watching.
There's a certain, like... Not wholesome, but there's, like, a certain...
Trashy.
Yeah, there's like a certain charm. Not even charm's not even the right word. There's like something so enjoyable about watching. It's like setting a bunch of garbage on fire and like it blows a bunch of different colors. There's something fun about that.
Yeah. It's fun to watch things that have been made, even if they're not good.
Yeah. Or like it's like how fucking I don't know anyone who like sticks around with American Idol after like the opening couple
Right.
episodes where like all the people who are terrible at singing like absolutely ruin their lives on the show. And
why are you still watching after that?
yeah, there's like you watched all the people do the bad singing, like what are you gonna do now? Watch like a bunch of bland assholes like sing covers? Like no, you came in to watch fucking Thomas from like Gary, Indiana fuck up a BTO song and like ruin his whole life in front of like everybody. Like,
every show that you pitch, by the way, come up with a concept where all the entertainment offers to be on the show for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then then money prints itself.
It literally prints itself in that situation. How many seasons has American Idol been on?
Oh, it's gotta be still going, right?
I would be surprised if it weren't. It's probably airing an episode right this moment. Let's see. Where are we at here? I'm looking at the Wikipedia article right now. Okay, present revival. Interesting.
Maybe it did stop for a while.
Season 15 ended May 2015. Final season of American Idol. This season was expected to have additional focus on the program's alumni. Blah 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 blah. Variety talked about a revival. Season 16. The revival apparently happened 17, 18, 19. So yeah, they're on their 9th. Well, on May 15th, 2020, ABC renewed the series for its 19th season.
Wow.
So yeah, the new season will start at season 19 will start airing February 14th, 2021. So it was a glorious few years where American Idol was not on the air.
They need to find new hosts or something.
Yeah, who's hosting now? It's because they said Ryan Seacrest returned as host. They have completely different judges. And that's all I really care to read anymore about fucking American Idol. But either way, what a shit show. That and America. American Idol being a shit show is just indicative of America being a shit show.
You know, if it's named after the source material that it's named after is got issues.
Yeah. So I have a little floating wardrobe up here up top.
Just wanted to be in the picture. I feel like
Again, the whole gang in here.
I feel like you should scoot it just a little bit more in. Maybe like the bottom right corner should be behind the lion a little bit.
Bottom right. Oh, what's up? I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Whoop, shit. Bottom right corner.
I think just scoot it like just a little bit. Yeah, just in a little bit, just for the sake of if I do post this someplace. Having it all.
That wardrobe in the pic. Wardrobe stays in the picture. Famous book by Robert Evans.
Crazy Kyle just subscribed.
What? You do that every
Oh my gosh.
You don't gotta keep subscribing.
He's
like
on a
that.
5-month streak, it says.
Oh my god.
Kyle, you're out of your mind. That must be why they
Kyle.
call you Crazy Kyle.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We should probably draw a picture for him at some point because he's like.
Yeah.
We
you have
keep,
any
like,
ideas,
we keep getting
Kyle? I was asking if he had anything he'd like us to draw on the air.
Oh yeah. Let us know because we like keep having people subscribe and like give us money, and then we're like, oh geez, we should probably draw a picture for that guy. And
but then this
maybe
is
we'll
what
go
happens.
on.
Kyle goes, I have no ideas.
Oh okay. Well.
You know, an opportunity was right there for you, and you squandered it.
Yep. Squandered.
Now you have to look at us draw this garbage.
Yeah, look at this fucking bullshit. Like, when the
No one asked for this.
Yeah,
You want to know who requested this? Nobody.
Yeah, people requested us not to draw this.
Yeah.
Like, just like how they keep requesting us to not do the show every time we do it.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
haven't
let's go
convinced
do
us
it.
yet.
Nope. We've got another one under our belt as of this 15 minutes from now.
Take that, you haven't convinced us 55 times.
Yeah. It's a year and counting. Oh boy, oh boy.
Kyle is doing different emojis, but I like to look at it like the bomb transforms into a heart.
Yeah, it does. If you were to animate,
And then someone picks up the heart. I'm really excited to see where this story goes.
he's building a whole narrative here in the
It
chat.
really is.
Well,
I'm not sure what's happening in that last one. That
It
just
looks
looks
like
like
a
a
person
mess.
looks like a person shoving the heart in a dolphin's mouth.
Wow.
I'm mousing over it because sometimes the Nick Merck's pot. It's a guy smoking pot, apparently. No, he's stirring the heart in the pot, I believe. So he's making some type of love potion.
And now
And
Goose
now-
got shot in the head.
I guess,
Because
have
of
taken
the way that the okay, yeah, okay, Goose got, okay, the Goose is dead now.
Goose is dead. Goose has slipped from this mortal coil.
Rip Goose.
Rip.
Rip
Torn in
torn.
piece. Rip torn. Rip piece. Rip torn. I'll tell you what, we got a great Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe drawing here. Are there any, like, we got 15 minutes of the show left. Are there any other cameos we can throw in this bad boy?
I don't know. It's more like 12 minutes, so come on, man. But
Well, we started at 8
true,
or 9.
true. Who else?
really
Who
shortchanging
else
our
belongs in this crowd? If Kyle, if you have any suggestions for who's missing from this?
Now he's throwing rainbow-colored paint on a very happy bumblebee wearing a diaper.
So we got the Lion, we got the Witch, we got the Wardrobe, we got
The
This.
Scarecrow, the Tin Man. We got
Dorothy.
Dorothy. We got
got
Dorothy's dog,
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
crew.
We got
Well, not the whole crew.
Scooby-Doo's friend Shaggy. Who's the guy that's in that song with Shaggy?
The guy who
Shaggy
sings
wasn't
like
me.
Rasta, but he's not actually Rasta.
I think Shaggy's the Rasta guy. I think the singer is the other guy, right?
No.
Rick Rock. Rick Rock is probably the Jamaican sounding voice guy.
The Wizard. Oh yeah, of Oz, right?
Oh yeah, that would probably. I guess
But-
that's just a dude sitting at a computer.
Yeah, it's
though,
just
isn't
like an old man who's like, "Oh fuck, you found me!
it? Shit.
I didn't expect
Alright, I'll-
this."
I'll take you back now because you found. I was gonna just trap you in here forever, but.
Man, that wizard is. So, do you think Oz is a real place, or is it just some weird like you bonked your head situation?
I mean, the way they set it up in the movie is they set it up in the movie like she's comes back and it was all a dream, but at the same time, don't they end the movie with her being like, "What? I have a thing that I couldn't have gotten from outside of Oz." Isn't that like?
Remember, all of the people in her life play the characters in Oz.
Yeah, and like when the witch's house falls on the witch and her toes, like that's like the lady trying to kill her dog, dying in real life. I'm looking up the plot right now. She wakes in the bedroom. Everyone dismisses her adventure as a dream, but Dorothy insists it's real. She says she'll never run. Okay, no, it's just it's totally a hallucination from like a fucking getting
She's like,
hit
I
in
saw
the head.
color, and they're like, what does that mean? Everything is only 3 colors: black, white, and gray.
We live in the world of the Giver, where they don't have colors. Okay, so let's draw the Giver over here. The guy who gave Dorothy color.
What does the Giver look like?
I don't know, they have like a picture of a fucking ugly dude on the book cover.
Picture of the Giver.
Or you just look up the Giver and like, you see the book cover. That's what I'm thinking at least. It's got like a big potato nose.
It's just a man with a beard.
Yeah. It's Alan Moore.
The way you described him, fucking ugly dude.
Well, I'm not saying
it's just
he's
an old
fucking
man.
ugly. I'm not saying he's a fucking ugly dude. I'm saying he's kind of an ugly dude in that picture. Like, look, that beard is very unkempt. Like,
Right. I'm not saying he's like, hey, look at that
saying,
gorgeous man, but
I'm not saying he's fucking ugly.
Well,
I
like
was saying
an
like
elderly
he's
man.
fucking, reads the word fucking as like
the lion,
a
the witch,
placeholder word.
the wardrobe, the Giver.
Find the witch, the wardrobe. Hey, Scooby-Doo, where are you, the Giver?
Is this you drawing the Giver?
Yep.
Okay.
Z Newts, friend of the show, guest of the show, fan of the show. He used to pronounce it the Guyver, which was can't see the Giver now without hearing it pronounced the Guyver in my head.
Right, that's the way you say it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
When is Z-Newt's gonna want to play some GTFO?
I don't know. We gotta find out when he's got.
Oh, you haven't installed it yet, have you?
I will today.
Did you
Tonight.
get your cord done?
I didn't know. I spent way longer working on this one article than I thought I would.
That's fair.
So just to recap, a lot of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and the Wizard of Oz, and the pup named Scooby-Doo, or the Giver.
All these stories are about Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Dorothy gets hit in the head from a tornado. And then the Giver gives her the ability to see color. And then she meets Scooby-Doo, and then they follow the yellow brick road to get her back home from
And it turns out the Lion was a guy who was just trying to commit some kind of fraud.
Turns out the wizard was Red Herring.
And then they pull his mask off, and it's just an old man who is the custodian at the fair.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck.
I would have gone away with it too if it weren't for you.
You really blew this whole thing up. I thought I figured it all out. Damn it. Got many hats. Matt in the chat says, "Hey guys."
Hey, many hats, Matt. What's going on?
Welcome.
Either over there.
The show.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the tail end of it. Tail because there's dogs on the screen right
I'm
now.
drawing a dog.
Yep,
That's why.
Yep, that's right. I don't know if this picture is gonna look like it's the Giver.
I wouldn't know what the Giver looked like. I don't feel like that's a look that I haven't seen the movie.
Oh yeah, they did make a movie based on it, didn't they?
Or I haven't read the book.
The Giver
games. So I don't think any drawing would ever. I would look at it and go, well, that's the giver right there, obviously. That right there is the giver.
That's the giver right there. You can watch the Giver movie on Tubi.
Matt says, I was spending the last half hour testing my own stream. Oh, so you're a competitor? You try to test your stream when we're on the air? Is that what you do? I thought you were my friend.
Buddy, we're gonna have to... Don't visit Many Hats Matt's channel where he probably does some sweet drawings and stuff.
Yeah, don't look at his superior drawings.
Yeah, where he actually tries and cares and like
stay away
shit.
from there. And
also, guess who played
trash?
Guess who played the Guyver in the Guyver?
Was it MacGyver?
It was Jeff Bridges.
Oh. Okay. I actually see that now because I have a Guyver photo up on Google right now.
The cover of like the movie or the poster of the movie, like they have a dude staring in the background, and that I don't think that's Jeff Bridges right there. That's like.
Is it Meryl Streep on the opposite side?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Jeff Bridges.
It does not look like Jeff Bridges.
No, it doesn't, but it's him.
It looks like the porn parody version of Jeff Bridges.
What is that name? Jeff Bridges.
Hold on, I got this.
Can you beat Jeff Bridges?
Eric Tressel.
Judges say no. Sorry.
I'm looking up synonyms for the word bridge now. If you folks need to write a thing, but you need a different word for the word bridge, dictionary. A crossing.
Many Hats Matt offers up Jeff Longbridges. Good option.
Longbridges. Interesting. He could be Jeff Aqueduct. Overpass.
None of those sound sexy.
No, they don't. He really nailed it. He really got the only sort of like crossing over a body of water type name that you can really have.
What about like Jeff Hardcock?
Ooh,
that might work. Although it doesn't really sound like a bridge. Name of his,
that's kind of too close to the name of his character in True Grit.
What was his name of that again? Oh, Rooster Cogburn?
Yeah. Like it's got rooster, which is a type of cock. Also, Cogburn sounds like somebody burnt their dick.
And that makes you think of porn?
No, that's not what I thought of porn.
Jonathan Burnt Dick.
Are we talking specifically?
I thought we were coming up with porn names for Jeff Bridges.
Porn names. I was thinking of just like a parody name for Jeff
Bridges.
Porn name for Jeff Bridges.
Did you say? Did my brain go there, or did you ever say porn?
No, I did. I mean, I said on the cover of the movie, The Giver, like the poster. It looks like
right. Okay. And then I said, what's like a porn name? Got it. All right, that's how we got there.
I started thinking of just general parody names, but if we're talking specifically porn.
Many Hats Matt says Jeff Bitches.
Jeff Bitches is a pretty good one.
Not bad.
It would have to be. No, I mean I don't know. I don't feel like I can come up with anything better than what's already been suggested.
It's all off the table.
Yeah, I've been doing this shit for like almost 2 hours now. My brain is fried.
There's nothing left. We've been trying to come up with alternate Jeff Bridges names for the entire show.
That's right. You guys didn't even realize that was the game we were playing. Not even that time we were playing that one game, but we were, we were playing a different type of game.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything else to this drawing before I save it?
I mean, I feel like I kind of ruined it with my Giver.
Well, you can erase the Giver if you don't like it.
I think I'm gonna. He just looks like a bad, ugly face. The Giver. Stone.
Oh my god. I feel like where we were going with this drawing was confusing, and now it got real confusing.
This is like barely. I wouldn't even classify this as a drawing.
You get the Giver out of here. The Giver
all right.
is going to be the goner.
The Giver stays out of the picture. Book by Robert Evans. Gonna erase this real slowly as a form of protest. It's like when people slow down at their job as like a form of strike.
Many hats, Matt. When are you gonna be streaming, or just whenever?
Yeah, what's the schedule looking like? Is the witch drunk?
You know, maybe. I just felt like it's like, oh, she brews potions, so there's like bubbling, like, I don't know. But yeah, she's like, drunk. We're going with that. She's drunk.
So we should hold on. I can fix this up then. Hold on.
Put a bottle in her hand.
Yep.
That's usually how they write it on the bottle.
Oh yeah.
Downward angle.
This is like when they like drink a soda in a movie and then they put it so that the label is facing the camera and go, ah, delicious Diet Coke.
Yeah. I think they make money that way.
That's how they do it. Or the fucking Sonic movie, they like have a whole sequence where they like show them using the fucking Olive Garden app. I'm like, and now I'm placing my order. It's just like, what the fuck?
It's kind of weird. You can do it, I guess, in a way where you can be like, we're making fun of it, but also you're still getting paid, so you're kind of not.
Yeah. There's like a scene in 30 Rock where they like, it's like they're doing like a product placement thingy, and they're just like, wow, this thing is so great, it's so good, blah blah blah, and then like right before the scene cuts, Liz Lemon turns to the camera and says, "Can we have our money now?"
That's funny.
Goes to the next scene, yeah. I like it. Like if you're gonna product place me, like make it fun.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I will agree. Like it seems less egregious that way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, you're in on the joke, even though the joke is still you're trying to sell me a thing. I'll live with it since you made me laugh about it.
Fine. Guess it's okay. Guess I won't turn off the show.
Guess I'll laugh and praise this writing instead of complaining about the ubiquity of advertisements.
All right.
Picture we have here.
That's a picture, and that's a show.
That is that's both of those things.
Thanks to everybody who watched. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Put lips in the chat if you appreciated us.
Yeah,
back.
you gotta throw those lips in the chat.
Throw those lip emojis in the chat.
Do you have anything to plug, Ian?
God, you know, there's this dinky show I do every 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time.
Not every 8 o'clock.
Sometimes like 8:10.
Mondays.
It's Mondays at 8 p.m. Did I not say the word Monday? Well, it's Mondays. Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You may have heard of it. It's called DrawBomb. We do it, and it's a show that exists for sure.
Well, that sounds like a great show.
Yeah.
You know what else we could plug? We were on a podcast recently.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yes, we were.
We were on Flummoxed, and with a couple of our good friends, Maddie F, who was here earlier, and Grefsky as well. But you can find that on Spotify under Flummoxed.
FLUMM. Is it two?
I think you're right so far.
MMOXED. FLUMMOXED.
Check it out. You can, I know you probably just watched this entire 2 hours of this episode, and now you're going, I want to hear them talk more. Well, here's your opportunity. Go on over there.
Episode 10, baby.
Yes.
I'll post a link in our Discord.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Good idea. Cool. And regardless, if you are sick of us, you should still listen to that show. Just skip the episode that we were in.
Yeah, it's episode 10. You can skip right past it.
It's a good show.
I prefer it that you do skip past it, because anytime I talk and it's recorded, like I'm racked with regret, and I'm just like, why did I say those things? Oh, Jesus.
It's a good thing that Twitch dumps this video like after a couple weeks or so. But I think you put it all on YouTube.
Oh yeah, which is I feel terrible about it every time I do it.
So go over to our YouTube as well to watch previous episodes. They're as good as this one.
It's a whole archive of ways to cancel us, so just do your homework, look through, see what you can find.
Just dig through for like 20 minutes and you'll find something, and we'll be done for. And then we'll be banned from Twitter.
Yeah, there we go. We've definitely drawn people pooping, so that's illegal on Twitch, although it's not on Twitch anymore, so...
You can do it on Twitter, can't you?
I'm pretty sure Twitch is the only one that bans that. You can do that pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah, why not? It'd be like it's educational. This is a diagram.
Yeah, this is the human digestive system.
Feces leaves the body. Just trying to teach people. God damn.
All right. This is the kids show. We're trying to do our best for the kids.
Well, on that note, I'll play us out.
Bye.
Dude, you nailed it 100%.
Seriously?
Perfect.
That's funny as hell.
That's the first time. We need to clip that. That's it.
Oh man.
You've been trying for 55 episodes.
It only took 55.
Thanks for watching, everybody.